I recently took my XH2s to the 20th Annual Crown of Maine Balloon Festival held in Presque Isle, Maine on August 24th to 27th, 2023. Since the camera was brand new to me, I decided to experiment with its internal color grades and slow motion video features. This video is not sponsored by anyone. I will be as poor at the end of this video as I was when I started. I am merely showing some of the color grades available as I learned to operate this feature-rich camera. One of the key selling features for me was the numerous internal Fujifilm color grades that can be applied in camera as you're taking photos or videos, because I don't always have time to develop raw files. While the camera can produce raw files, it can also create both at the same time, a raw and bracket of 3 different user selectable color grades. There is a quirk though. If you choose to do raw and bracketed JPEGs on one card slot, then the camera produces 3 raw and the 3 color graded JPEGs. The raw files in this case either appeared to have no grade or perhaps the default Provia standard. If you choose to store the raw files on card slot 1 and the bracketed JPEGs on card slot 2, then the raw files are stored with all 3 grades applied, the same as the JPEGs. With raw files around 50 megabytes each, we of course only need 1 raw file, and it certainly doesn't need to have a color grade applied, because we're going to do that in post. Perhaps I didn't set something right, or Fujifilm needs to address that in a future firmware update. Let me know in the comments below. At the Balloon Festival, I shot the JPEG files bracketed with Provia Standard, Classic Chrome, and Pro Negative High, with all of the other color grading options set to their default position. I noticed the Provia Standard is a standard grade like you would get straight out of pretty much any camera, while the Classic Chrome has a slight reduction in magentas and the blues and an increase in blues in the shadows. This is nice for a nostalgic old-school printed photo look. Pro Negative High is slightly more saturated and contrasty of an image compared to the Provia Standard. I like all 3 for different compositions, so with the bracket feature I can choose which grade I want to keep. Here are a few comparison examples of the color grades. I shot video with either the Eterna film grade in half speed or Provia Standard at 30 frames per second, both with the in-body image stabilization turned on. Here's how those came out. I really like this camera and all of the options it provides. It should be with me for at least the next 10 years.